Hello students, today we will discuss about harmful effect in microorganisms, page number 79. In this session, in last class continuation, last class already discussed in some disease. What are the disease? That continuation we will discuss about in this session. See, the microorganisms caused in some disease, that is pathogens or harmful effect. The disease caused by microorganism in human already discussed. The disease caused by microorganisms in human. What are the disease? The responsibility which microorganism? Already you know tuberculosis is completed, cholera, common cold, and the next one malaria. Malaria is a human. This is the responsibility of the microbes. Which microbes? The responsibility in malaria means plasmodium. Malaria. The disease. Which microorganism the responsibility of this disease means? That is plasmodium. Plasmodium, this is a generic name. This plasmodium in India, they having in 4 species. What are the species? Plasmodium ovale, Plasmodium vivax. That means P, capital letter P. This P for Plasmodium, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium vivax, and finally Plasmodium falciparum. So the 4 species that present in our country. So how many Plasmodium species that present in our country? Means just you write in 4 species. This 4 species only the main responsibility of this disease. So the malarial disease is one of the Plasmodium disease. How the disease is spread one person to another person? Which organism they are involved? Intermediating process. That means they are involved in female Anopheles mosquito. Which one means female Anopheles mosquito. Female Anopheles mosquitoes, their responsibility, the transmission of this disease from one place to another place or one person to another person. Symptoms: vomiting and high fever. This vomiting and high fever. High fever means the 3 days present in fever and next day is not reduce the temperature and again will increase the temperature and reduce the temperature. That means then 3 or 4 days. 3 or 4 days the present in this temperature. And then now this is caused by microorganism in animal. Before that they are completed in human. Now that this is caused by microorganism in animal. Animal. What are the disease? The first one, anthrax. Anthrax also affect in human being. This is the cattle disease. Which one? Anthrax. Anthrax disease. The responsibility of the causative organism, Bacillus anthracis. Which one? Bacillus anthracis. Bacillus anthracis. the mode of transmission through contaminated soil and food. This is mode of transmission through contaminated soil and food. The soil and food. And then the symptoms. This difficulty in breathing. Difficulty in breathing. That means that organism is not breathing naturally. Some healthy cattle will breathe in easily, is not feeling pain. But this disease affected organism or affected animal difficult that in breathing. And anthrax vaccine. Which vaccine against using the anthrax disease means they are used in vaccine. Which vaccine means anthrax vaccine. Anthrax vaccine. So anthrax vaccine were utilized when want to use, that means this vaccines want to use against anthrax disease. This is a animal disease. And then next one, foot and mouth disease. Next one, foot and mouth disease. Mouth disease. See, the constitutive microorganism. Which microorganism the responsibility of the foot and mouth disease? That is Haptrovirus. Haptrovirus. Which organism? Haptrovirus. And then this is a virus. See how the disease is spreaded. That means mode of transmission through air and animal vectors. Through air and animal vectors. And then symptoms: fever, blister in mouth, weight loss, decreased milk production. This foot and mouth disease affected means that animals may be female, means that not producing maximum or milk productions will reduced. See, that means the presence of the cow that producing for day, in morning time in 5 liter and evening in 4 liter. Like that present means this disease affected later on or after that the cow is not producing the normal quantity, that will reduced because of the responsibility of this disease. Which disease the responsibility of the milk production of animals means that disease foot and mouth disease. Foot and mouth disease. And then the which vaccine they are using against of foot and mouth disease means they are having in vaccine. Which one they are used in FMD vaccine? Which vaccine? FMD vaccine. So the FMD vaccine they were used the against of foot and mouth disease. And next, the disease caused by microorganism in animal. See, the now completed in them disease caused by microorganism in human being and then animal. And next one, disease caused by microorganism in plant. In plant, what are the disease? See, the citrus canker. First one, citrus canker. Citrus canker. The responsibility of the microorganism or causative microorganism Xanthomonas. Xanthomonas axonopodis. Axonopodis. This is bacteria. So citrus canker is one of the bacterial disease. How the disease will spread it means the mode of transmission air and water. Air and water. The symptoms: this is an leaves, stem and fruit. The preventive measure treatment. Which treatment want to make? The copper based bacterized can be used. Copper based. See, a disease caused by microorganisms in plant means the first disease in citrus canker. The which microorganism that are involved in causative function means the Xanthomonas axonopodis. That is the bacteria. Mode of transmission air and water. The prevention and measure the controlling copper based bactericides can be used. So the copper based bactericides can be using means that time the citrus canker disease not spread or control the disease. And next one, potato blight disease. Next one, potato. Potato blight disease. That is the responsibility of the causative microorganism. Phytophthora infestations. Phytophthora infestas. This is a fungi. So the fungi microorganism is responsible for the potato blight disease. The causative microorganism. And then mode of transmission. This is hair. This is a hair. This is mode of transmission is hair. And then symptoms. Brown lesions on the surface of tuber. That means the potato present in like that means a surface of the potato you see they are present in some patches. That patches present in brown or black color. The buds like are the patches or the spoiled some places like that. That's present in brown color and then black color. See the prevention measure treatment fungicides are used. Fungicides are used. See the bactericides and fungi disease means that is a இப்போ அதை சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னா பாக்டீரியல் சம்மந்தப்பட்ட டிசீஸ் எல்லாமே கொல்லக்கூடியவங்க. அதாவது நம்ம பூச்சிக்கொல்லின்னு சொல்கிறோம் இல்லையா, பூச்சிக்கொல்லி அப்படின்னா the related insect the some disease will spread at that time we want to use in some pesticides. பூச்சிக்கொல்லி யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க இல்லையா, அந்த மாதிரி இந்த ஃபங்கல் ரிலேட்டட் டிசீஸ் அஃபெக்ட் ஆகிடுச்சு அப்படின்னா இந்த ஃபங்கை செடிஸை யூஸ் பண்ணால் ஃபங்கல் ரிலேட்டட் டிசீஸ் அஃபெக்ட் ஆகாது அல்லது கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணிக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? now you understood. The harmful effect also the responsibility of the some microorganism. What are the microorganisms that are involved in these kinds of the disease will spread on one person to another person means that's a human being and plant and animals. And next topic, microbes in food process. Microbes in food process. Microbes means what? Microbes means what? That is a microorganism. Microorganisms are otherwise called microbes. Microbes in food process. See, for food processing commonly used microorganism are. Here means that's a plural form. So what are the microorganisms that are commonly used means they are having some microorganism. The first one yeast. First one yeast, and next bacteria, and next molds. See, these microorganisms, they are used in food process. See, the fermentation process, which is carried out by microorganism. So the fermentation process want to involve means that should use in microorganism. Without microorganism cannot possible fulfill that fermentation process. During that fermentation process, the absence of the oxygen, they are produced in some alcohol. The example, you know, the beer and wine. The beer and wine is the preparation of the fermentation process only. And then Easter, that also. See, the fermentation process, which is carried out by microorganism, result in the production of organic acid. So, that during the fermentation process, will produce in organic acid. So, which acid the produced from fermentation process? That is organic acid and alcohol. And ester. See, and then the help to preserve food and generate distinctive new food product. The first one, food preservation. Food preservation means what? That food particles or that food things want to use in future purpose. Or now the prepare that food material. That means then, இப்போ நம்ம சமைச்ச சாப்பாடு இருக்குங்க இல்லையா, அந்த சமைச்ச சாப்பாடை நம்ம கொஞ்ச நாளுக்கு அப்புறம், அதாவது 1 days after, 2 days after or 3 days after want to eat, that time that food want to present in neatly. That means it's not spoiled. Maybe the spoiled that food particle means is not eat. Is that no? Now the presence of the ready-made chapati, you know, ready-made chapati. Just அந்த ரெடிமேட் சப்பாத்தி வாங்கி வந்து நம்ம போட்டோம் அப்படின்னா சாப்பிட்றதுக்கு தகுந்ததாகிடும். அதாவது இந்த புளியோதரைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, லெமன் சாதம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, அந்த மாதிரி மசாலா ஐட்டம்லாம் பேக்கெட்டில் வருது இல்லையா, அதுக்கு ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி சம் மைக்ரோ ஆர்கானிசம். See, the first one, food preservation. See, the two techniques are followed in food preservation. They have here followed in two techniques. What are the techniques? Traditional techniques and modern techniques. What are the traditional? Traditional and modern. See, the traditional techniques means பரம்பரையா நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடியது, அதாவது தலைமுறையாக. த எக்ஸாம்பிள் புளியோதரை நம்ம சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, புளியோதரை, லெமன் சாதம், இதெல்லாமே ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் வந்துடும். See, the traditional techniques. The first one, fermentation. First one, fermentation. The fermentation is the microbial conversion of starch and sugar into alcohol. This is the microbial conversion. That means what? You want to use microorganism. That is a yeast. So that yeast they are utilizing. And then without microorganism is not possible. You are fulfilled in fermentation process. This, the conversion of starch and sugar into alcohol. இங்க இருக்கக்கூடிய ஸ்டார்ச் சுகரை என்னவா மாத்துது? ஆல்கஹாலாக மாத்துது. The good example, the preparation of the wine and beer. அப்ப அந்த ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் இருக்குங்க இல்லையா, ஃப்ரூட்ஸ் எல்லாமே கட் பண்ணி போட்டு டம்ப் பண்ணி ஒரு லேண்டில் ஃபில் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. ஆஃப்டர் த ஃபியூ டேஸ் கொஞ்ச நாள் கழிச்சு அதை திரும்ப மேலே எடுப்பாங்க. அதில் இருக்கக்கூடிய வேஸ்டேஜ் எல்லாமே ஃபில்ட்ரேட் பண்ணிவிட்டு லிக்விடை மட்டும் எடுத்துக்குவாங்க. அதுதான் ஃப்ரூட் ஜூஸ்ன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸ்பாயில்டு ஃப்ரூட் ஜூஸ் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. அதுதான் நம்ம பீர் அண்ட் ஒயின்னு சொல்லுவோம். தேர் சம் கெமிக்கல்ஸ் தேர் ஆடட் மீன்ஸ் that presence of the already they are present in naturally in some amount of the alcohol only, is not present in maximum amount, but chemically they are adding in some alcohols. See, and then it make food more nutrient and palatable. And next one, pickling. Pickling. The pickling is the method of preserving food in a edible antimicrobial liquid. It is two types. Antimicrobial method. Here having them two types. What are that? Chemical pickle and fermentation pickling. This is the chemical and fermentation. They are present in two types. So the pickling, they are having two types. What are that? Chemical pickling and fermentation pickling. First one, chemical pickling. The food is placed in a edible liquid that kill bacteria and other microorganisms. Example, vinegar, alcohol, vegetable oil. See, that means the presence of the food is placed. அப்போ நம்ம வச்சுருக்கக்கூடிய ஃபுட்டில் இதை லைட்டாக ஆட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா அந்த ஃபுட்டானது ஸ்பாயில் ஆகாது. அப்போ ஒரு கெமிக்கலை அங்கே ஆட் பண்ணுறோம். என்ன கெமிக்கல் ஆட் பண்ணுறோம்? விச் கெமிக்கல்ஸ் தேர் ஆடிங் இன் ஃபுட். அதை தான் சொல்கிறாங்க ஃபுட் இஸ் பிளேஸ்ட் இன் எ எடிபிள் லிக்யூட். அது உண்ண தகுந்த ஒரு லிக்யூட். அதை வெறுக்க வேண்டியதில்லை. வினிகர் நம்ம எக்ஸாம்பிள் தானே தானே ஃபாஸ்ட் ஃபுட் ரைஸ் இந்த சிக்கன் ரைஸ் எக் ரைஸ் எல்லாம் கேட்குறோம் இல்லையா, அங்கேயும் லைட்டாக வினிகர் போடுவாங்க. அண்ட் தென் எ வினிகர், த குட் எக்ஸாம்பிள் ஃபார் இன் வினிகர் or alcohol, and then vegetable oil. And the next, fermentation pickling. Bacteria in the liquid produce organic acid as preservation agent that produce lactic acid due to presence of lactobacillus. The lactic acid is the responsibility of the produced in lactobacillus. And then boiling, next one, this is the responsibility of the lactobacillus. So the fermentation pickling, the main responsibility is the presence of the lactobacillus. And then boiling. See, now the food preservation is the completed in fermentation and pickling, and next they are present in boiling. Boiling means what? Want to increase the temperature. Boiling. See, the boiling liquid food items kill all the microbes. Milk and water. The example, milk and water. Now you understood why are you drinking in boiled water. Why you want to drink that boiled water means because of that normal water itself they are present in some microorganisms. Some microbes they are present. That microbes you not identified. Because of that same microbes. That microbes are very small particles. That's why the doctors are given in suggestions always want to drink in boiled water. The boiled water you are drinking means that time prevent some microbes is not enter in our body. Now you understood? Milk and water. Okay, water you are drinking in boiled because of the presence of the microbes. What the necessary want to boil in milk? Because of milk itself the present in water. The milk itself also the present in water. That during the boiling time the presence of the water is evaporated. And then sugaring. Next one, sugaring. Sugaring means what? They are adding some sugar. See, sugar is used to preserve fruit in a hot antimicrobial syrup with fruit such as apple, pears, and then peaches, plum are in a crystallized form. Therefore, the product is stored in dry condition. This product stored in dry conditions. The example, nowadays you are drinking in some syrup. That means that some disease will affect it, means that time the doctors are given in suggestions this syrup want to drink like that syrup, some syrups they're having in taste is the present because of the responsibility of the sugar component. That sugar component that present means that time the presence of the substance is not spoiled, that always want to present in dry condition. And then modern techniques. Modern techniques. See, pasteurization. Pasteurization. It is the process for preservation of liquid food. Pasteurization means the preservation of the liquid food. Pasteurization. Pasteurization. This pasteurization means that is preservation of the liquid food. So preservation of the liquid food, that is called what? That is called pasteurization. So the pasteurization means what? Like that asking me, just you are writing this word. It is a process for preservation of liquid food. So this is preservation of liquid food. This is preservation of liquid food. And this method was invented by Louis Foster. This is who discovered this pasteurization process means that person is Louis Foster. Louis Foster in 1862. Louis Foster. This Louis Foster, that scientist only, the first introduced in pasteurization process. The pasteurization process means the preservation of liquid food. And the milk is heated up to 70 degrees Celsius to kill the bacteria, and it is cooled to 10 degrees Celsius to prevent the growth of remaining bacteria. That means the presence of the milk want to boil in 70 degrees Celsius. The 70 degrees Celsius, the boiling that milk means that time the presence of the bacteria, maybe the present means that bacteria will killed. At the same time, now the present in 70 degrees Celsius. This 70 degrees Celsius want to reduce in, now maintain in 10 degrees Celsius. The 10 degrees Celsius means that time here they killed the bacteria. Sometime there may be some bacteria is not killed, means the remaining bacteria is not grow. Is not grow because of now the present in 10 degrees Celsius. They prevent the growth. So that time this prevent the growth. That means the remaining bacteria is not growing. That growing will control. And then the milk is stored in sterilized bottle in a cold place. This sterilized stored in cold place. Where want to store this cold place? Cold place want to store. And next, food production. See, that food production means probiotics. Probiotics. This all is not having your text. You want to take notes. In case if you have the text means just you take and go through. This is the page number 79 and 80. See, now food production. Food production. See, probiotics. Biotics means what? Already you studied in biotic and then abiotic. See, the probiotics means higher live food supplements used in the yogurt and other fermented milk products. The example, lactobacillus acidophilus and then bifidobacterium bifidium. This bacteria improved the microbial spectrum in the gut and thus contribute to the following effect: decrease the risk of colon cancer, the decrease in cholesterol absorption. See, very simple, the probiotics. The biotics means that is the living organism or living things. Living things. The probiotics, that means the presence of the living things that using. What uses means the present means probiotics are living food. That means live food. எந்த ஃபுட்டில் இந்த ப்ரோபயோட்டிக்ஸ் இருக்கோ live food, அந்த ஃபுட்டானது supplement used in the yogurt and other fermented milk product. Example, lactobacillus. The probiotics உடைய examples என்ன அப்படின்னா lactobacillus. In first one, lactobacillus. Lactobacillus acidophilus. And second one, this is the first one, and second, bifidobacterium. Bifidobacterium and then bifidum. The two biotic. Two, that means two biotic. This is the present in living conditions. அது உயிருள்ள. இது ரெண்டு மைக்ரோ ஆர்கானிசமும் உயிரோட ஒரு ஃபுட்டில் இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அந்த சமயத்தில் நமக்கு யூசஸ் இருக்கு. என்ன யூசஸ் அப்படின்னா this bacteria improved. These two things in bacteria. What are the bacteria that are present in the living in food? Probiotics means want to write in this two microorganism. And then the bacteria improve the microbial spectrum in the gut and thus contribute to the following effect. எங்களுடைய கான்ட்ரிபியூட்ல எதில் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா என்னுடைய கான்ட்ரிபியூட் என்ன அப்படின்னா decrease the risk of colon cancer. Decrease the risk. Decrease the risk of colon cancer. And next one, decrease cholesterol absorption. அப்போ இந்த ப்ரோபயோட்டிக்ஸ்ல இந்த ரெண்டு லிவிங் பாக்டீரியாஸ் இருந்தா இந்த ரெண்டு ரிஸ்க் நமக்கு இல்லை. டிக்ரீஸ் த ரிஸ்க் ஆஃப் கோலன் கேன்சர், அந்த டிசீஸ்ல இருந்து நம்ம கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணிக்கலாம். அண்ட் டிக்ரீஸ் கொலஸ்ட்ரால் அப்சர்ப்ஷன். கொலஸ்ட்ரால் அப்சர்ப்ஷன் என்ன பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா டிக்ரீஸ் பண்ணிடும். See, let us quick revise in this session the microorganisms that are having in so many harmful effects that before in the previous classes already discussed in some animal disease. In these sessions, the malaria is the responsibility of the plasmodium. What are the plasmodiums that are present in our country? The mode of transmission, the female anopheles mosquito. Then what are the symptoms? And then the disease caused by microorganism in plant and animal. Explained. What are the plant disease and what are the animal disease? Explained. Animal disease, then first one anthrax and second one foot and mouth disease. The anthrax against they are using in anthrax in vaccine and foot and mouth disease against they are using in FMD vaccine. And then next food preservation. The food preservations they are having in two techniques. What are the traditional techniques and modern techniques? Traditional techniques they are having in some types. What are the fermentation, pickling having in two types, chemical pickling and then fermentation pickling, and boiling and finally sugaring. And then modern techniques pasteurization. Pasteurization means then preservation of liquid food. This pasteurization first introduced in Louis Pasteur 1862. Louis Pasteur and 1862. That means the milk is heated 70 degree Celsius. The 70 degree Celsius heated means that time the presence of the bacteria will killed, and then want to reduce that 10 degree Celsius. Like that reduce the temperature means that time prevent remaining bacteria is not growth. That growth will be prevent. That is pasteurization. And then food production. Food productions, they are having probiotics. The probiotics, they are present in mainly in two bacteria, Lactobacillus acidophilus and then Bifidobacterium bifidum. Bifidobacterium bifidum. These two bacteria that present means that time will decrease the risk of colon cancer and decrease cholesterol absorption. Thank you.